Good evening, I'm Tevon, and this is News Xstream. Tonight, we're turning our spotlight to the north, Canada, where a bold and unapologetic political figure is gaining momentum. Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre. At just 20 years old, Poilievre was already laying out a vision for Canada that he still stands by today. Now 45, and potentially on the verge of becoming Canada's next Prime Minister, he's pushing a message of smaller government, lower taxes, and what he calls common sense politics. Poilievre's platform is catching fire, especially among Canadians frustrated by a sluggish economy and an ongoing housing crisis. He's framed himself as the antidote to what he calls the authoritarian socialism of former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. But now, Trudeau is out, and a new opponent is in, newly appointed Liberal leader and Prime Minister Mark Carney. While the Conservative Party enjoyed a wide lead in the polls during Trudeau's decline, Carney's entry has shaken things up. Now Canada's political future is up in the air. Born in Alberta to a teen mom and adopted by school teachers in Calgary, Poilievre's story is one of personal resilience. His early interest in politics led him to Ottawa at just 25 years old. Since then, he's built a reputation for being sharp-tongued and fiercely combative, even earning the nickname Skippy for his youthful energy and rapid-fire attacks in Parliament. But behind closed doors, insiders say he's more diplomatic than he lets on. Still, his straight-talk approach, and at times, inflammatory comments, have landed him in hot water. Just this past spring, he was ejected from Canada's House of Commons for calling Trudeau a wacko. Despite criticism for oversimplifying complex issues, Poilievre continues to connect with many Canadians who feel left behind by the political elite. However, a recent poll shows nearly half of voters hold an unfavorable view of him. Now, with the spotlight shifting to the upcoming battle between Poilievre and Carney, the Conservative leader has started to recalibrate, especially on foreign policy. In response to Donald Trump's suggestion that Canada should become the 51st U.S. state, Poilievre clapped back, vowing to put Canada first and warning that Canadians will fight back. Trump hasn't taken kindly to the pushback, calling Poilievre not MAGA enough and no friend of mine. Domestically, Poilievre promises to crack down on crime, back skilled immigration, and scrap Trudeau's national carbon tax, a move that sparked concern over Canada's climate strategy. He's also taken a softer stance on certain social issues. While he once voted against gay marriage, he now says it will remain legal under his leadership. On abortion, he supports MPs voting freely, but won't push for new legislation. On immigration, Poilievre has pledged to tie immigration levels to housing availability, a nod to Canada's affordability crisis. His own wife, Anaida, came to Canada as a child refugee from Venezuela, a story he's used to promote the importance of integration. What really sets Poilievre apart is his call to do away with what he calls utopian wokeism, rejecting ideological politics in favor of practical governance. It's not about grandiosity, he said in a recent interview. It's about what's great in the lives of everyday people. With a compelling backstory, a polarizing presence, and a rising wave of populist energy behind him, Pierre Poilievre could very well be Canada's next leader. But in a political landscape now defined by uncertainty, one thing is clear. The road to Ottawa is anything but predictable. We'll be watching closely as the election draws near. For News Xstream, I'm Tevon. Stay informed, stay sharp.